Welcome to People Who Inspire. I'm your host, Mary Dreliszak. This is a story about love, hope, courage, and the will to make a difference. This is Kelly's story. With us is Kelly Gallo and her husband, Geno. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having
We're
us.
so happy to have you here. Tell us a little bit about each one of you. Kelly, you go first.
Well, I'm Kelly Gallo. I live here in Connellsville, Pennsylvania. I grew up here, and I have a nail salon here in Connellsville out of my house. It's called Nails by Kelly.
Very nice. I know.
And I'm her husband, Geno, the other half.
Yes.
And I lived in Connellsville my whole life, lifelong resident. I own Fayette Structures. We sell prefab sheds and garages, and I do excavation work, concrete, and site work.
You're both very busy people.
Yes,
Absolutely.
very busy.
And you live in this beautiful place near the
you.
bike trail, on the bike trail basically
Yes.
in Connellsville. So you can't ask for a better place to be right now, that's for
We love
sure.
it.
It's
oh
great.
my gosh.
I'm
yes.
on the bike trail every day.
That's nice.
Yes.
That's so awesome. So tell us a little bit about your story, Kelly. You have a kidney disease, a very rare kidney disease.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that. What does that look like?
It's called neuromodular kidney disease. It affects 500 families in the whole world, so it's very rare. I was born with it. My dad had it, so he gave it to me, unfortunately. And when I was 33, I just had routine blood work done, and they noticed that my kidneys were failing, so they referred me to a kidney specialist. And he said that, yes, eventually you'll have to have a kidney transplant and possibly dialysis, which I did have to have.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
And you did have a transplant, a first transplant about
Yes.
7 years ago.
yeah, in 2016.
Right.
So I was on dialysis for 3 years. In 2013, I started peritoneal dialysis. That's where they put a port in your stomach,
Okay.
and you're on it every night for 10 hours. And that was very rough. It caused me a lot of pain and discomfort. And I had a lot of trouble dealing with it. It didn't really work. So I was really desperate for a kidney. And so my best friend, Susie Love, she went and got tested and gave me the best news one Christmas of 2015. She called me and said that she was a direct match. And so she donated her kidney to me February of 2016.
Wow. What are the chances that your best friend would be
Yeah.
a direct match and her last name is Love?
I know.
Isn't it
I
great?
know. It's a great last name.
It's
She's
perfect.
wonderful.
Yes.
The story could end there, but the story doesn't end there,
No.
does it? So 2 years ago, so
Yes.
things were going okay.
Everything was going great.
Yes.
And then 2 years ago, I have routine blood work, which everybody who has a transplant, any kind of transplant, you have to get routine blood work. And they noticed that my numbers, my creatinine was getting higher, which is really bad. So they had me go and get a biopsy, which is where they put a needle in the kidney and they take a little piece of it out, and they could tell that it was rejecting.
Right.
And it was because of a virus that I got, that people who have transplants, they get this virus. It's very possible to get, and they couldn't stop it. It already did damage. And so they gave me the horrible news that I had to get back on the list.
That was a big surprise. How were you feeling at the time? Like, did you have any symptoms?
I had no symptoms.
okay.
I was just I was devastated with the news. I just felt like my life was over. I felt like it was so hard for me to get a donor the first time. How was I going to get another donor? And I felt like I let her down, even though it was of no fault of mine. I still felt that feeling of she did this for me, and now my body's rejecting it. And it was supposed to last me at least 15 to 20 years.
That's what
And
we're hoping for.
Yeah, that was the hope for sure. Yeah.
it was very sad. I was going through a very dark time.
Okay. So what did you do? So there you have to find out that you need another transplant, and now this 2 years passed before this second transplant happened.
Yeah.
What did you do during that time? Like, what happened?
So, they, while I was trying to hold off on dialysis, I was trying my best to tell them I'm not ready for it because I wasn't having symptoms. That's the thing. some people don't have symptoms, some people do. I was one who didn't. So here I am feeling healthy and fine. And then they're telling me that I had to start dialysis.
Right.
So it was February of this year that they had to give me an emergency port in my shoulder here. And I had to go to dialysis 3 times a week. And I was there 6 to 10 in the morning. So
right.
in
It
4
became
hours.
your routine.
It was
every day.
And some days
every
she
3
had
days a week.
complications and pain from the dialysis.
Sure. So not an easy road.
No,
Not an easy road to
definitely
travel.
not.
And you're going through the dialysis, still wondering and hoping. Is there a donor out there? Is there a donor out there? I know you put the word out there on Facebook.
I did.
Can anybody want to get tested? To come get tested.
Yes.
And that you gave information about how to do that. And so while that was happening, and it wasn't working in the way we had hoped that it could, Geno stepped in. Geno said,
Well,
there's me.
Yeah.
So tell us about that.
Okay, so, the first time she needed a kidney transplant, I, of course, got tested to see. And the problem was I went through quite a bit of tests, but all my numbers were bad.
Yeah.
I was overweight, pre-diabetic. I had other issues, and there's no way they were going to let me donate.
Right.
So as a man, I felt very insignificant. And as a husband, I felt really small, like I couldn't help my wife. I mean, I really didn't have any... I just didn't ever want to feel that way again.
Right.
So, fast forward to this time, we did have some time because from the time her kidney started to reject, I instantly said, okay, I got to do something.
Right.
And what I did is I started a diet. I cut out all my carbs.
Okay.
And I really love carbs. But I did. I cut out all the carbs and I was already pretty active with my work, but I actually walked a little bit extra on top. It took a little bit of time, but it was several months. I got my weight down. I lost about 70 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And, it
70
was pretty,
pounds.
Yeah. So then I went down and I got tested. And I just nailed every test. It was just perfect.
Wow.
And you have to be pretty healthy,
Yes.
To donate. But they'll work with you if you're not. But luckily, I was so nervous because each level of test, I'm going to make the next one. I'm going to make the next one. But I did, but I'm not a direct match. I wasn't a direct match for Kelly.
Right.
So when you got in the program, once I was able to donate into what they call the paired exchange program, and that's a program by which I give my kidney to another couple maybe that'll give a kidney.
Right.
That their loved ones will, and they usually do an actual exchange just with 2 pairs. But our situation evolved a little bit differently.
Okay.
So once I was a match, and I'll let Kelly tell you that part of the story. So once I was on the list, we waited.
So I was thinking, I started dialysis the end of February, and I was thinking, my birthday's in April, I'm going to have a big party, but
we were
it
planning
didn't
on
happen that way, unfortunately.
Right.
So it didn't happen until August 14th.
Very good. Had to wait a little bit longer on
Yeah.
that. So let's go to that. Let's go to surgery day. Let's go to, here we all are. It's all happening because you both had surgery on the same day.
Or even the call, because we only got the call.
Oh, please. Let's go back to the call because time's going on. 2 years is going on and
I finally got the call.
Tell us
I
about
was
what that looked
actually
like.
at a, right over here at this pavilion, we were at a meeting that the,
cornrows. For the Historical Society.
The Historical Society was having a cornrows. And I got a call on my phone and it was a Pittsburgh number. So of course I'm going to answer because, and I answered and he was like, Kelly. I said, yes. And Dr. Tivar. And I knew then because why would a doctor be calling me? So,
And
and
we
he
knew
said,
Dr. Tivar.
he said, we have a match. And I just, I mean, that feeling of finally it's here, you can't describe it. It's just like, it's so exciting.
Right.
So then I got Geno's attention. He came over, we put him on speaker, and then there was a speaker talking, and I went in and said, hey, sorry to interrupt everybody, but I got a kidney. And they all clapped and hugged me. And
It was great that we got to share
You got to
so many of our
share
good
it and
friends were involved
celebrate
in
it.
Yes, we
with
did.
People. That is
We
perfect. Boy, what timing on that call.
yeah, it was great.
So he calls and says, we have a kidney. It's how much after
It
that?
was Wednesday. They said, can you come Monday?
Okay.
And I was like, yes, sure, okay. We can make it happen.
We put everything on hold, and
Yeah.
our family mobilized and our support system. We have a great support
Yes.
system of family,
Yes,
friends,
yes.
and everyone we just
Pulled
wanted to-
together and
Yes.
made it happen.
Because when you think about this, you needing a kidney, you giving a kidney, otherwise you needing a kidney, you would have been the caregiver.
as I was the first
Yes.
time,
Yes.
you know,
Yes.
that Kelly needed
Yes.
kidneys. So
Yes.
yeah, logistically, we were like, oh boy, this is going to be tough.
Yeah.
Because someone has to be with both the donor
Right.
and the recipient, like all the
Right.
time. And they wouldn't let us be together. We at
Yeah.
least not initially.
Yeah.
Let's
We
talk
knew
about that. Let's talk about that. You're in the hospital and it's surgery day. You both had surgery on the same day, right?
Same day.
Yes.
He went first.
Okay. So what did that look like?
Well,
Describe that. You're in the hospital.
Well, getting me ready, you have a whole advocate team that's just for me, not for Kelly. She had her
Okay.
own team,
Right.
and they were 100% worried about my health and all that.
Right.
And and was I going to change my mind? Had talked to psychologists. They kept you have a lot of times to change your mind.
Yeah.
But I didn't, and so the day of, they took me down early that morning, and I remember it really clear. And the nurses, the doctors were great, but I was passed out. I was under anesthesia. But all the nurses, they really were rock stars. They were running that place, and
Yeah.
they were just fantastic.
Right. And you had it at what hospital?
A UPMC.
UPMC.
Presbyterian.
Very good. Go
Presbyterian.
ahead.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we went through, and I got, I did the surgery, and that was it. They put me out, and I just said, my wife's coming behind me, just take good care of her. I was so worried about her, and because I didn't get to see her. They did let us see, like I saw her just before for a minute, but that was it, because we were in different rooms.
Yeah, we're different
Okay,
rooms.
Different
so-
sides
rooms.
of the
Okay.
of the
And then it
floor.
was your turn.
It was.
Okay.
I did a Facebook Live before I went down. I
Yeah.
said, they're coming to get me.
Here we
And that
go.
was 9:30. And I told them how nervous I was. So I think they gave me something because in my IV because I don't remember anything.
Right.
Really.
Right. That's good.
Which is good.
That is good. That's good.
Yeah.
It's better to go to surgery and not have to,
Right.
to be calm about it. So
Yes.
that's really good. They took good care of
They
you.
did. They
Yeah.
took very good care
Yes,
of me.
yes. How long was your surgery? How long did it take?
Well, I did that video at 9:30. When
Yeah.
I woke up in my room, I looked at the clock and it was 6 o'clock.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I don't know exactly
Yep.
how long,
Yep.
but I was just like, wow, where'd the time go?
Yes.
So-
that's
So for the time frame, so after they took my kidney,
yes.
and we found out later my kidney went to Erie.
Okay.
PA. So
Okay.
a fella up there. I haven't met
Okay.
him yet, but
Okay.
they said he's a big guy, really cool,
Mm.
tattoos. Can't wait to meet him
Aw.
at some point. Yeah, I hope we do.
Yeah.
But then what was amazing
So amazing.
it was Taylor Murphy. It was this wonderful. She was
She's
like
the
an
one
angel.
I got her kidney.
Okay.
Yeah, and
okay.
she was donating her loved one, and their loved one had passed away.
Mm.
And she still altruistically
Yes.
said, "Hey, you already got me tested. I still want to donate
Oh
a kidney."
my gosh.
And that set a chain event so that then
Yes.
Kelly got a kidney, then I was in the program, so then I donated, another person got a kidney, and we understand that chain went a couple of more levels. And we also understand that moved all those people off the list,
Wow.
and other people got kidneys. So
Wow.
the impact of Taylor's gift.
I am forever
is
grateful to
just
her.
amazing.
Yes. Now we have the pleasure of talking with Taylor Murphy, the one who donated her kidney to Kelly. What a pleasure it is. So thanks so much for being with us, Taylor. How are you today?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me.
And behind you is a special pet. Who do you have with you?
This is my dog Ryder. I rescued him in 2021. He's my best bud.
Oh, well, he's wonderful, and he is your constant companion.
Yeah, he goes everywhere with me.
He knows good company when he has it. So we're glad that you're in our company too. So Taylor, tell us a little bit. I know you're from Elwood City.
Mhm.
That's where you're at. So not just from Kelly's neighborhood in any way. So, but the connection between how you got from where you are to helping Kelly, you were actually trying to help a relative of yours. Do you want to share a little bit about that?
Yeah, it was my sister's father-in-law. Our family is unbelievably close. So he was like my dad, as well as her father-in-law. But we got within like a week of the surgery being scheduled, and they found out he had cancer. And they did a few tests, and it ended up It was all throughout, so the surgery was off. And then he started having back-to-back strokes. And sorry.
That's okay. Take your time.
And within, it was like 6 weeks or so, he had passed. And I told Rita,
Sorry.
which is the coordinator at UPMC, I said, don't take me off the list. If something comes up, I didn't go through all the testing for nothing. Just keep me posted. And it was about a little over a year. He passed away in June, and I got the call in August.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So when you got the call out of the blue, what were you doing and were you shocked?
I was actually at work. I worked from 5 a.m. to 1.
Wow.
So I'm like, wait, what is this? I had to switch gears real quick.
Yes.
She actually emailed me and said, I know this is super short notice. Can you come up to the hospital tomorrow in Pittsburgh for pre-op and then surgery on Monday? This was Tuesday.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And my 32nd birthday was on Thursday.
Was it? Oh my goodness. That is
Thursday, yep.
amazing. Was there any hesitation? So there you were, you know, you knew you wanted to do this, but now it was time. Was there any hesitation?
I got a little bit nervous just because I didn't have all of my ducks in a row anymore.
Sure.
When I was planning it the first time, I was able to plan and have an idea of what was going to go on as far as being off work and everything. And my sister had just had a baby in February, so she would have been my primary caretaker. So I'm like, I had to call her, and then I had to call my pastor, who was also kind of my brother. And I'm like, what do I do? I'm like, I don't think I can make this decision on my own. But in reality, it was a no-brainer.
Right. But what did they tell you? So there's your sister who was going to be your caregiver who was having a baby.
Yeah.
So what was her response?
Her response was really, if you feel like it's something you need to do, you really need to do it. Like there was no hesitation on her part. I was like, well, I get to help you with the baby for 6 weeks.
Yes, there you go.
I was like, I get to have your maternity leave.
There you go. Okay. So your why for doing it, you know, you had prepared for, you know, to do this anyhow. You had decided that you were going to just still help somebody else, which was so really amazing of you to still put yourself, you know, through this and to be able to carry it out. And but your why, what deep down, why did this matter so much to you?
I live kind of my life by do for one what you wish you could do for all. I do a lot of mission work. I help a lot of people. I go to Kentucky, and I've built numerous amount of like wheelchair ramps for people. Just various things. We actually went down when the tornado hit in 2021, I think, to Mayfield. We went down there. So if I can help somebody, I'm going to do it.
Right.
That's kind of how I live my life.
That's awesome. It really is. It really just speaks to who you are, Taylor, and what a gift and what a blessing. And you know, Kelly had waited a long time for a match, and there you were. You were the match. It was you. After all that time, it was you. And so, what a difference that you made in her life, and then that chain reaction of you know, her husband being able to donate his kidney, and then how it helped others as well.
Yeah.
So if you had started it, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
No.
Absolutely not. And others would not be enjoying the life and the quality of life that they're having now. Yeah, you gave them such hope and such a better quality of life. So,
I I absolutely adore Kelly. When I met her, actually, I wasn't originally going to meet her because originally they said my kidney was getting on a helicopter. Um, and when I met her, like she was just the sweetest human being on the planet.
mm,
And like, I know it's weird to say that we have this connection. I'm like, we're instant Facebook friends. Like, we're in Geno too. Like, we're Facebook friends. Like, it's a lifelong connection.
that's right. That's right. Best friends for life, for real.
Kidney buddies.
Absolutely. 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 Well, thank you so much for sharing a little bit about your why, and what an honor and a privilege it is to get to meet you, and for our viewers to be able to get to meet you too. Thank you so much, Taylor.
Thank you.
You
Yes.
have recovered very well
I
from this.
did.
Yeah.
Yes, very,
did.
very
And
good.
she had a much better experience the second time than the first
Yes,
time.
yes, yes.
It was much better.
Yes,
It
yes.
was. I don't know if my body was used to it and was
Right.
just kind of
Right.
going with the flow, but
Right.
I had the surgery Monday and I was out of the hospital Friday.
That's awesome.
You know, and
Yeah.
Taylor didn't just save Kelly; she saved me too.
Yes.
Because, I mean,
right.
I just couldn't live without Kelly.
That's right. That's right. That's
Aw.
right. How altruistic and how compassionate to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's a wonderful.
What a
we'll never- she's part of our extended family.
That's right. And she lives in
Yeah.
Pennsylvania.
She
Yes.
does.
Yes.
She lives up
Yes.
north.
Very good.
With
So you
North
Up
City.
near Elwood City.
Yeah.
so you've made a new friend.
Yes. Yes.
For life.
We're friends on Facebook.
Very
so.
much for life. And when you get to meet the person
I'm
that
excited
received
to-
yours.
Yeah. We did hear about he was doing really great.
Great.
And, you know, that's
Yeah.
also
Yeah.
we'll see. Hopefully.
So
we'll reach
after your surgery, I mean, they had to get your kidney from Pittsburgh to Erie, like right away.
Yes.
Yeah, right
Yeah.
away.
Right away.
And
Yeah.
we thought maybe they did the helicopter. I think they did it in a van, and I believe it was Dr. T-Bar that did that surgery. He took mine out, put it in a
And ice.
cooler.
So
ice
he
cooler,
got it.
Yeah.
So Dr. T-Bar got in a van with your kidney and went
took
to
off.
Erie.
And then someone else, as I understand,
Wow.
did the cleanup.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
That is amazing. That is amazing. What courage and what giving. My goodness gracious. What a story.
Yeah.
What
And
a
then
story.
Taylor was actually at the hospital. So I
Mhm.
asked, I said, would I be able to meet her?
Yes.
And they said, well, we have to ask her. And if she's willing to meet, then yes, we
Yeah.
can definitely introduce you.
Yeah.
And oh my goodness, she was like an angel walking in my room. I mean, I just wanted to hug her. It was hard because I still
Yes.
was, actually, I had to cut our meeting short because I started to kind of get nauseous.
Right.
But
right.
Gino,
I
he
recovered
talked
a
to
little
her.
bit quicker, and I got to
Yeah.
spend a lot of time, a little bit, a substantial amount of time with Taylor. She's
Yeah.
a wonderful person.
Aw.
She's done mission work. She likes
Aw.
rescuing animals like we do.
Aw.
There's some similarities. She's just fantastic.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
What a story. Thank the Lord for Taylor.
Oh, I
Yeah.
thank the Lord for Taylor.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Yes.
Absolutely.
And you know, when you're going through this, and you know, you're looking at you're going to lose your partner,
Yes.
and you're looking at how it affected our lives and the time and the
Yes.
and then even financially, the pressure put on us.
Everything.
And then you know, once
Yeah.
that kidney transplant happens, it's like back to normal.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It is amazing.
It is.
What a story. 2 years of not knowing, uncertainty,
Yeah.
you know, and your kidney levels were getting worse and worse and worse.
They were.
Yeah. So,
They were. That's why they had to do the emergency port for
Yes,
dialysis
yes,
because
yes,
they
yes.
said you could just go to sleep and not wake up.
wow.
And imagine a doctor telling you that.
Absolutely.
I mean, I definitely had my days and nights of crying and
yes.
just crying myself to sleep because
Yes.
it was so worrisome.
Yes, yes,
so,
yes. So all the more now. What
Yeah.
do you want people to know about what a kidney donation, what they can do for themselves and for others?
well, what I do want people to know is get routine blood work
Mhm.
and catch it early because the earlier the better
Mm.
because then you can go through the steps of getting on the transplant list, and the earlier you get on, the better,
Right.
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 And also to be a donor on your
Right.
driver's license, definitely, because, when you die, you're not going to need your
You don't need
organs.
those parts. And if you could really, like, firsthand experience what a dramatic change and impact that it has. You know, I think everyone would be a donor. I really do.
Absolutely, absolutely.
You can live on through somebody else.
Yeah, you
Exactly.
extend your life.
That you can't beat that. That is
That's
that
right.
is everything, everything. And having a kidney issue, you should know. And you say it's kind of a silent disease too.
For some people.
Mhm,
Yeah, for
okay.
some people. Now, most people have, swelling and they're tired and
Right.
their appetite changes
Right.
and they may be nauseous and,
Right.
there's things that go with kidney disease. I
Right.
didn't have any symptoms at all.
Right. Isn't that amazing? But a blood test brought
A
that
blood
up.
test.
Isn't that something? Wow. Well, all these years later and 2 years later, and now here we are, just recovered from surgery, did an extremely good job recovering from
Yes.
surgery. You guys, I mean,
No pain at all
like
whatsoever.
just a matter of weeks ago, you were on the operating room table, so that
Mentally,
is
I
amazing.
was prepared for a lot
Yes,
more. And
Yes.
even with Kelly, because
Yes.
of how hard she had the first time.
absolutely.
Yes.
We're really blessed.
Absolutely.
It was very hard the first time. It took me a couple months to heal
yes.
and to get
yes.
back to work.
Yes.
And I just started back doing nails last week.
Yes.
I did the whole 6 weeks like they said, but I
Right.
could have probably been fine in
Right.
3 weeks,
That's
really.
awesome.
But I wanted to do the whole 6 weeks like the doctor suggested.
That's wonderful. That is such great news.
Yeah.
No, so what do you appreciate the most now, Kelly? I'll start with you.
Having my life back.
Yeah.
Not having the worry. I mean, I still have worry that the kidney would reject, but they really keep an eye on me and they're on it. So having my life back and just having that worry off, not having to go to dialysis and just having just being with my friends and doing the things that I used to do. And
Yeah.
it's just great.
Absolutely. How about you, Gina? What do you appreciate?
Well, for me, it's pretty simple. You know, we're both have big lives. We're active. We're involved in things. And, we had to put all that stuff on hold. And now we do. We got our second shot at life. But most importantly, I know I'm going to be able to grow old with Kelly.
Awesome. That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing your beautiful story with us.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Kelly's story reminds us of the difference that we can be in each other's life. The ripple effect that they had, the chain reaction that happened because of one person's kindness made a difference in many people's lives. Every day in our daily walk, we can be the difference too, however that is. Check out the links, if you will, on how you can be an organ donor and continue to make a difference each day in each other's lives. Thanks so much for being with us.